TSIA 2 and TEAS test prepping by Prep Advisor Liz Saldivar. This session will be recorded so that you may come back to it later if you need, and so others who may have missed out on today's events will be able to come and watch it. Thank you. So now, at this time, please mute your mics for the best sound experience, otherwise the feedback could interfere with information we will be sharing today. Without further ado, I'll pass it on to Ms. Saldivar so that we may begin.
Thank you, Gemma. Everybody can hear me, right? Can everybody hear me? Okay, great.
Yes.
All right. So good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the Tejano virtual events. The Office of Student Success, together with the PrEP program, will be showing you engaging tools for the first-time in college students, for students already enrolled and who want to retest, and ranking students, which would be our health occupational students. As Gemma mentioned, my name is Liz Saldivar, and I represent the PrEP program. I would like to ask if you can please hold all questions until the end of the presentation. I would greatly appreciate that. So I see that we only have one participant, Norma. I wanted to ask you, Norma, which test are you interested in taking, the TSIA 2 test or the TEAS test? If you can just post that on the chat. Okay. All right. So we're going to go ahead and go on with our presentation. PrEP offers a variety of service, but more importantly, what I want to emphasize is that all these services are absolutely free to you as a student. We are a district-wide program and have a PrEP office at every campus. We concentrate in preparing for students who are entering the college for the first time and those who are currently enrolled and want to retest by helping them prepare for the TSIA 2 test. PrEP has also been supporting all our healthcare major students for quite some time now, and what we quickly learned was that the healthcare majors have a high level of excellence and the degrees are very, very competitive. This is why we have developed these specialized tools specifically for your needs to help you prepare for the TEAS test. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, this slide is going to show you an overview of what PrEP has to offer all of our students. As mentioned before, but worth repeating, we specialize in preparing all students that need to take the TSIA 2 test, and this includes the healthcare majors that need to rank. If you are a healthcare student, once you have completed the mandatory courses, you will need to be eligible for the program by ranking. And one of the things you need to do is either take the TSIA 2 test or the TEAS test. Another way that we help you is through a free diagnostic assessment, free boot camps, free online resources, and we also have the Blackboard online assistance support. And we'll be learning about all of these shortly. Okay, so as you can see, PrEP supports many areas of study within the college. For example, the dual credit and the early college high school, fire technology, cosmetology, sign language, and law enforcement academy need to test out of the reading before being accepted in their field of study. PrEP helps these students with online tutoring. They can tutor when they want, as much as they want, and it's available to them 24/7. The healthcare occupation also need to rank, which means they need to take the TSIA 2 test before entering their field of study. And the nursing also need to rank by taking the TEAS test before entering their field of study. And PrEP also helps these students rank and offer online tutoring for them. PrEP offers several healthcare majors, and this slide shows you all the majors in the healthcare department. For example, we have nursing, physical therapist assistant, surgical technology, and our newest one is echocardiography. All these programs have special interest requirements. Some of these requirements are mandated by state or federal legislation. Others are based on the standards set by accrediting agency. You will need to attend a healthcare orientation to review the requirements for the specific program. And you have for the program that you've selected. And remember that all the healthcare programs have different ranking dates. Whether you're a healthcare student, first time in college student, or a student currently enrolled and want to retest on a particular subject, here are some suggestions. Start early. Please, I can't stress this enough. We see so many students scrambling at the last minute, trying to get all the requirements done. If you procrastinate too long, you might not have enough time to do all the tasks required for testing or to do them well. And by that, I mean tutoring for the TSIA 2 or the TEAS test. Another thing that I see is that there are many students coming to us wanting to tutor on math, reading, and writing in a week or sometimes even a couple of days. This is unrealistic, and even if you did tutor 24/7, you would not finish. And this is this is why I want to take a closer look at the tutoring involved. The math portion of the tutoring could probably take you between 2 to 4 weeks, depending on what you already know and don't know. It also depends on how much time you're willing to invest in tutoring. The more time you invest, the better you will do on your test. The ELAR, which includes the reading and the English, could take you another 2 to 3 weeks, depending again on what you already know and don't know. Also, how much time are you willing to invest in tutoring? For the healthcare students, remember that each healthcare program has a different ranking date. Some programs only rank once a year, and if you miss the deadline, you will have to wait another year to rank. So please give yourselves enough time to make sure that you're on target with all the requirements needed for your healthcare major. Meet with your counselor at the beginning or at the end of each semester, just to make sure that you're on the right path. So many times I see students that take unnecessary classes because they don't meet with their counselors. If you're getting financial aid, you need to see that as your bank account and pay only for the classes needed. Otherwise, if you transfer to UTEP, you will be out of financial aid and have to pay out of pocket. This can become very expensive very quickly, and you might even have to get a loan to finish your degree. For students who are testing for the first time or retesting, it is important for you to try and test out of the reading. Why? Because if you can test out of the reading, all the core curriculum classes will open up for you. For example, you will be able to register for a history class, a government class, an education class, philosophy, or an arts class, just to name a few. If you can't test out of reading, these classes will be closed to you and you will be limited to the classes that you can register for. Why does EPCC do this? Because in the core curriculum classes, you will be reading a lot, and EPCC does not want you to fail these classes if you are not ready for them. For the health occupational students, please check with your health occupational counselor to make sure that you know the ranking date and be vigilant to make sure you have met all the requirements before the deadline. Try to have everything ready a month before the deadline if possible. As an advisor, Another thing I see frequently is that when students are ready to rank, they have forgotten most or all of the math they need for the TSIA 2 test. Why does this happen? Because they finished their math several semesters ago, sometimes even years ago. If you are thinking about following a health occupational program, what I recommend to you is to test on the math as soon as you're finished taking all the math classes. This is so important. Why do you ask? Because it's still fresh in your mind. Plus, remember that the test scores are valid for 2 years, with the highest test scores used for qualifying and ranking. Just make sure that you do your very best on the test, so you only have to test once. The higher your score, the better chance you have at getting into the program. If you are a retester or a health occupational student, remember that because you have tested once, you will be able to test one subject at a time and continue to have the 5 hours the testing services gives each student when they test. This is so important because if you give yourself enough time, you can tutor and test on one subject at a time. I have seen so many students do this, and they do so much better with their test scores. This is so much better than trying to tutor on all three subjects and test on all three subjects all at once. I also see many students run out of time when they try to test on all three subjects and are unable to get a test score for the subject they did not finish. If you do it, if you do this, it will cause you so much unnecessary stress. When you do go and tutor on one subject at a time, you can go into the testing services relaxed and take advantage of those 5 hours you will be given for that one subject. Also, make sure that you meet with your coordinator and instructors. If you are struggling with a class, the instructors are there to provide guidance and can advise you on your next course of action. When you are taking your prerequisite courses, try to form support groups with other students in the class. When you form support groups, it reduces the stress, the anxiety, or fatigue that you might be feeling. The support groups help you realize that you're not alone. It keeps you motivated, and you can help each other understand the topics in different ways because everybody has a different way of seeing things. Our prep resources. Please take advantage of our resources. They are absolutely free to you. The only thing you will be paying for is either your TSIA 2 test or your TEAS test. Everything else we provide is free. Okay, so here's food for thought. Do you remember tutoring on a subject in high school only to find out that you were tutoring on areas that you already knew? You probably wish that you could just skip that part and get to the areas that you really needed. This is what a lot of us went through when tutoring, and because of this, we became discouraged and probably stopped tutoring. Well, at Prep, we are on a mission to save you time while tutoring and testing sooner. And one of the tool Preps offers is our diagnostic assessment. So you might be asking yourself, what is a diagnostic assessment? It's a practice activity that is not graded. It assesses what you know and don't know. It also helps prep advisors identify the area you need to tutor on only. It personalizes the tutoring to only what you need. The diagnostic is free and it helps you focus on areas you need most help in rather than using up unnecessary time on content that you don't need. This will save you a lot of time and it's going to prepare you for the TSIA 2 and the TEAS test much, much faster. Okay, so we offer the diagnostic in reading, which is the ELAR, reading and writing, and we also offer it for the math. We do not have an essay assessment, but what we do is give you some essay topics for you to create a couple of essays before testing. Once you have created the essay, we refer you to the Writing Center so that you can have your essay checked. When you do take your essay to the Writing Center, please let them know that you're testing for the TSIA 2 test or that you are ranking and need to take the TSIA 2 test or the TEAS test. The minute you mention this, they will know that you really need a good essay. So back to the reading and the math assessment. The assessments are comprised of 24 questions for each subject that you're taking. They are available online at the PREP website. And what I want to do is I want to go ahead and post this website or this link on the chat in case you are interested. There you go. Anybody can take these assessments. They are multiple choice, and the results of the assessments are available to you after you complete the exercise with your advisor. You will need to ask the advisor to check for your results. If you're interested, please contact us so that we can get you started. As you can see, there are 4 topics to the ELAR, the reading and the writing. There are 6 questions asked on each topic, and these total to 24 questions asked in the following subject: the literary text analysis, informational text analysis and synthesis, essay revision and editing, and sentence revision, editing, and completion. On this screen here is a sample of an actual student that took both assessments, the ELAR and the math. The student was able to eliminate half of the tutoring because he or she knew those areas. On the topics of literary text analysis and on informational text analysis and synthesis, the student did not miss any of the 6 questions asked, which eliminated these 2 tutorials. On the math section, there are also 4 topics, and there are 6 questions asked on each topic, which totals to 24 also. And we have the algebraic reasoning, quantitative reasoning, geometric and spatial reasoning, and probabilistics and statistical reasoning. Here too, the student was able to eliminate the algebraic reasoning and the quantitative reasoning because he did not miss any. Out of the 6 questions that he was asked, he didn't miss any of them. And this is what I meant that by taking this diagnostic, it personalizes your tutoring. Instead of giving the student all of this tutoring that we see here, I only gave him 2 subjects for the ELAR and 2 subjects for the math. And if you notice, even though he missed 2 on each subject, that really isn't that bad. So this is pretty good. Let me go ahead and go to the next slide. We also have boot camps. These boot camps are free online sessions where students meet with instructors at a set time and date. They are delivered on Blackboard and led by EPCC faculty that have been trained for the boot camps and have met the requirements of accreditation and state agencies. Students will first review content, the subject content, and follow up with online practice activities for homework. Then students will test after the boot camp. These boot camps are only available to students that have already taken the TSI or the TSIA 2 only. The TSI and TSIA 2 scores must be within the last 5 years. All sessions close at 12 p.m. the Wednesday before the start of each session. The sessions, the goal is for students to place college ready or to rank on any healthcare major. When students participate in our boot camp, 1 out of 3 students place college ready. Oh, and did I mention that when you take a boot camp, Prep offers a discount rate on the TSIA test for non-ranking students only, students that are wanting to retest. If you were to go to the testing services and test on your own, you will be charged $15 per subject. But, excuse me, but when you go through our boot camps, you will be charged $5 for the reading, $5 for the math, and $8 for the writing and or essay. But you must attend all the classes Monday through Thursday for each boot camp you registered for. Remember, that price is only available to non-ranking students. Another thing you need to be aware of is that if you are wanting to take a boot camp, you must assure yourself that you are registered for classes for the semester. The system will not allow you to get into Blackboard to participate in the subject you want. So please make sure that you are registered for a class that semester before taking a boot camp. Okay, this is the flyer for the summer 2023 boot camp. I realize that this is a little small, but if you click on the magnifying glass right up here with the plus sign on the upper left hand side of the screen, it will make it bigger for you. Oh, and don't worry, this will only magnify on your screen and not everyone else's. So when you look at this schedule, you will see 2 kinds of boot camps, the TEAS boot camp and the TSIA 2 boot camps. The TSIA 2 boot camps include the math, which is this one here, the reading, and the writing. And they're available to any student needing to test for the TSIA 2 or any healthcare major that needs to rank. These boot camps are 4 days long, and you will need to test after the boot camps are finished. The TEAS boot camp are specifically for nursing students. These are the TEAS. And they're available with the math, the reading, and the writing. But we also made sure to include the biology and the chemistry classes. If you notice the biology, there's only TEAS classes right here. And for chemistry, it's only TEAS classes also. There are no TSIA 2 simply because the nursing needs specifically the biology and the chemistry to test out. The TEAS boot camps are also available 4 days long and they have lots to cover. When you register, please make sure to pick the correct one for you. The boot camps are divided into sessions. For example, here in the math, you're going to see session 1 from June the 5th through the 8th. Session 2, June the 19th to the 22nd. Session 3, July the 10th through the 13th. And Session 4, July the 17th through the 20th. And if you notice, some sessions have 2 different times. This is because they are being offered at different times. Usually one is in the morning and one is in the afternoon. For example, this one here for the math and the TEAS, it's being offered at 11 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. And the second session starts at 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. If you're going to register for several boot camps, Make sure that you do not overlap with the times. Look at the times and make sure that they don't overlap with another one of these boot camps. After each time, you'll be able to see the name of the instructor that will be teaching that boot camp. For example, on this one, it's Instructor Long, and for the evening session, it's Instructor Alvarado. All boot camps are from Monday through Thursday, and you must attend all the classes to get the discount rate for the TSIA 2 testing available only to the non-ranking students. Okay, so let's continue with the flyer. The middle box here shows you what you need to know before you register for boot camps. These are things we already talked about. In other words, you have to have the TSI or TSIA 2 scores. They must be within the 5 years, and the TEAS sessions are for nursing students only. Remember, there's just 3 easy ways to sign up. First, pick a subject right here, any one of these. Pick a session and time, session 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, and connect with your prep advisor to register. The box here on the left side are contact numbers and room numbers for all campuses. You can contact any campus and let them know that you're interested in a boot camp or several of our boot camps. If you follow us on Facebook and Instagram, we frequently post the boot camp flyers with schedules there. If you do decide to register for a boot camp, you will need to sign this form. It's called the Continuing Education Registration Form. Prep advisors will fill out all of the form for you and will name the boot camps you would like to take. But you will need to sign it digitally and return it to the advisor. If you do not return the form with your signature, the advisor cannot register you for the boot camp or boot camps you want. Please keep this in mind when they do send you this form. Okay, so I wanted to give you a sneak peek into Ingenuity and how it works. Ingenuity is the name of the software we use for online tutoring. What you see here is a sample of online tutoring for the TSIA 2 ELAR courseware. These tutorials follow the Texas Higher Education Coordinating Board standards. Ingenuity is highly compatible with Windows, Android, Mac, and Google Chrome. It can be viewed on any computer or tablet, but we don't recommend using your phone for tutoring because you will not be able to see everything. When you are ready to sign up for the free online tutoring, one of our advisors will create an account for you on Ingenuity with your very own username and password. The tutorials we offer you were created to coincide with the tests that you're taking. Your assigned advisor will be assisting and monitoring your activity and will be available to you to answer any question regarding the courseware that you have or any other question you might have. Students who perform well on the test usually invest at least 6 to 8 hours weekly on tutoring. It is self-paced and you can tutor when you want, as much as you want. The only thing that we require is that you remain active with the tutoring. We've had great success with this software. If you're interested, it only takes about 10 minutes to create your account and you can begin tutoring right away. When you first log into Ingenuity, whether you're tutoring for the TSIA 2 test or the TEAS test, you will be able to see an orientation video that's about 8 minutes long. This video will show you how to maneuver within the software and will show you where you can find your tools that you will be needing. For example, it'll show you where to find the calculators. the highlighters, eNotes, transcripts, and glossary. Using these tools will keep you active while you're learning. Active learning is how we all learn better. It keeps us engaged and focused. So please make sure to give yourself enough time to see this video all the way through because it only shows up once. On this slide, we have the TSIA 2 ELAR, which is the essay revision and editing, informational text analysis and synthesis, sentence revision, editing and completion, and last but not least, the literary text analysis. On this slide, we have the TSIA 2 math courseware. We have the geometric and spatial reasoning, algebraic reasoning, probabilistics and statistical reasoning, and last but not least, quantitative reasoning. For our nursing students that need to take the TEAS test, we have created the following tutoring: Anatomy and Physiology, Science 1 Cell Structure, Science 2 Evolution, Science 3 Genetics, and the regular math, English, and reading tutoring. Okay, so this slide shows you the menu that you will be seeing for each tutoring. Most tutoring will have instruction, assignment, instructions again, and a quiz section. This first part of instruction is where you will be doing most of your tutoring. The assignment part, this is where you practice answering questions about the lesson, and it gives you a grade once you are finished. This grade is for your eyes only, and it helps you to see if you are understanding the tutoring that you just finished. It also gives you a time it took to finish the assignment. This instruction that's here again, I don't usually ask the student to do this unless they're having difficulties with the lesson. The fourth part is the quiz. Each tutoring has 2 quizzes that you take, and it gives you a grade for each test. The system will only allow you to take 2 quizzes, and then it locks you out. So please use these quizzes wisely. If you're not understanding the concept, you can go to this third instruction before opening the quiz, or if you want to do this first instruction that you did over again, you will be able to do that. When you leave the activity, just go ahead and click the home button, and don't worry, your work is always saved with Ingenuity. Most of the activities will be starting with a video. You can pause and rewind the video at any time using the video controls. You can control the volume, which is right here, and turn captions on right here. If you've already watched the video once, you can fast forward to the part you want if you want to see it again. However, you cannot fast forward through any video segment if you haven't watched it at least once. It's important to know that most of the information you'll be tested on will be taught here on these videos. So please pay attention and take good notes. Okay, so as you can see, Ingenuity is very active during the learning process. You can type your notes right in here, and you can save them here. When you click on the Advanced tab, which is right in here, it will give you options to use very similar to Microsoft Word. For example, you'll be able to bold, italicize, underline, and so much more. To the right of the screen is a transcript of everything the teacher has just spoken about. You can copy and paste this on Word to go over it later. To the left of the screen, right about here, are the highlighters you can use to highlight anything that is important to you. There are several colors that you can choose from. The bottom here boxes, at the bottom of the video, you can see 6 boxes, and each one is a video. I think there are about 6. Let me see, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, about 6. Each time you finish a video, an orange box will appear, and this is how you know you're finished watching the video. Earlier, I said that you could not skip around on the videos until you have watched it once. Well, it is these boxes that I meant right in here. Okay, in order to conform with FERPA rules, we have created special breakout rooms to protect your privacy. When you go into Blackboard, you will be in the main room right here. This is kind of like being at your doctor's office and you're sitting in the waiting area. Then you will be moved to another room. Either this is one advisor and this is me, another advisor. You will be able to speak with us freely with privacy. Once you are finished, you will be moved to the main room again, where you can then leave Blackboard. Okay, you can contact us through Blackboard Collaborative Ultra Online Assistant. And let me go ahead and post that on the chat in case you need it. Okay, there you go. Remember that all of PrEP services are free to you, and we are available Monday through Friday from 8 to 5. You can also email our program at prep@epcc.edu. I will also post this on the chat. There you go. If you want to call us, you can call us at 915-831-2326. And I'm also going to post this on the chat for your convenience. Okay, there you are. Okay, so thank you for logging into the Tejano virtual events, and thank you for your time. They say that information is power. Well, it has been my honor to give you information that can help you with your future here at EPCC. I hope that with this presentation, you will be able to see all that we have available for you to prepare you for the TSIA 2 test or the TEAS test, and know that we are here to serve you. If you have any questions, please ask, and I will try to do my best to answer them. Are there any questions?
Hi, Liz. So in the chat, we had a few questions.
Okay.
First question was, how long are ranking scores good for?
2 years. They are
Okay,
good for 2 years. And
and then also is
go
prep
ahead.
face-to-face at all 5 campuses?
When you go see an advisor, yes, we're face to face, but the tutoring, it's all online.
Got you. And what were you going to say about the 2 years for the scores? I'm sorry I cut you off.
Well, the 2 years are good for any test scores that you are doing. But like I said, when you take the math classes, please try and test right after that because you'll have the best score then because you have it fresh in your mind. I just spoke with a counselor and he did say that they take the highest scores. Before they used to take the last score. the last test scores, but now they've changed it to the highest test score. So that means you can test as many times as you want, and they're going to be taking the highest one from that particular subject.
I see. So at this time, is there any further questions for Ms. Saldivar? While we give them a minute for questions, I just want to remind everyone that should you feel that this information is very valuable to you and you would like to take it for yourself, you can go right over here with the little box that has an arrow in it and download this presentation to keep for yourself. This video will also be posted on the EPCC YouTube channel later today. Again, is there any other questions for Ms. Saldivar? Okay, I see only students not ranking get the discount. How do you know who is ranking?
Usually when we interview the student, we ask them if they are ranking, and a lot of them will probably answer yes. And that's how we know. We also check on the banner to make sure that they are. And just keep in mind that if you are interested in taking the boot camps, the student needs to be registered for classes during that semester, because we've been having problems with students that are logging into Blackboard, but because they're not registered in that semester, Blackboard closes on them, and it won't allow them to get in there and look at the or hear the Blackboard or the session for the Blackboard they registered for. So we always make sure that the student is registered for that semester, because they will allow them to go into Blackboard. But yes, the price is for non-ranking students. That means it would only be for students that are retesting, or students that are for the first time in college coming but have already tested, like in high schools. We have a lot of first dual credit students or early college students that want to retest, and that discount price is for them.
So they're asking why they would want to take the test if they're not ranking.
Well, a lot of times when you take the test at high school, they don't tell you that you're testing for the TSIA 2. They just get them in a room and they test. And we get a lot of students that not realizing how that test is going to impact them when they start their classes here. So when they come to the college and they realize that they're going to have to start with basics again, especially if the student took calculus in high school, there is no reason for him to start on basic math. That's when they come to us, they just refresh on certain things and they go and retest. For that reason, they do retest a lot of students. They want to be able to get out and test out so that they can quickly start with college ready courses.
Thank you, Liz. We're almost out of time. I'm going to go ahead and invite everyone to next week's session. If y'all have any further questions, feel free to put them in the chat. Give me just a moment to load up next week's sessions. All right, so I would like to take a moment to thank our presenter for presenting today. I would like to take a moment to thank the audience for coming in today, and I would like to invite you to next week's sessions. On July 21st at 1 p.m. at this same link, we'll be having Family-Friendly Campus Project and the Children's College presenting. We ask you to join us as we discuss how EPCC is fostering a welcoming environment for students, parents, with the new student parent resource centers that are available at all 5 campuses. Additionally, we want to explore the EPCC Children's College on enriching educational experiences for children, where they can engage in fun and interactive learning activities. So don't miss this opportunity to explore EPCC's commitment to nurturing our educational community and its families. Thank you for joining us today, and we hope you have a wonderful weekend.